packs are also available. Now let's configure the processes. We start by setting the start command for the web process, then add a worker process. To handle database migrations during deployment, we also create a job process that runs the Prisma migrate command. The final step before deploying the app is setting up the internal connection between the application and the database. During this step, the required database URL environment variable can be added automatically. Everything is now ready, so we can start the deployment. In this case, we're triggering it manually, but deployments can also be triggered by a Git commit, a deploy hook, or an API call. First, a Docker image is built from the source code. Then the database migrations are executed, and finally, the web and worker processes are deployed. The deployment is complete. We can now check the application. Everything is working as expected. From the dashboard, we create a new pipeline and use trunk, which matches Heroku's default behavior. We add our existing application to the development stage and create a new application for the production stage. We need to apply the same configuration to the production app, set up the processes, and allow the connection to the production database.
A moment ago, here was the scene with the Cowboys emerging from their tunnel. It was loud, it's still loud. We're ready for football as the Cowboys get set to match up with the Los Angeles Rams.
As part of the promotion, we use the same Docker image built in dev and apply production configuration at runtime, in line with 12-factor app best practices. Another great feature is preview apps. Just like on Heroku, you can enable them directly in the pipeline. On Savala, the entire preview app setup is handled through the UI, with no additional configuration files required. Savala can automatically clean up stale preview apps, and you can enable hibernation to save on costs. When a preview app has no traffic, it sleeps and doesn't incur any usage. Beyond replicating Heroku's core features, Savala lets you provision additional databases like Redis, MySQL, and MariaDB. You can also create S3-compatible object stores or deploy static sites directly to the edge. Every application is protected by Cloudflare and benefits from a built-in CDN. All of this means you get the familiar Heroku experience, plus more flexibility and deliver excellent throws into the tight windows.
Alright, this is
a first down throw for Prescott. He'll find Lamb. That's complete. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. A good safe pass there right off the bat.
That's almost a rhythm play. That's what we like to call it. Get them into rhythm early, something safe, something they're confident about, something they feel good. And once that's completed, then you just keep moving from there because the confidence elevates.
Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on third down. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
Brings up 3rd and 1.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. So much for the run on 3rd and 1. Instead, it's a big chunk in the pass game. First down. Toss right. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one.
Now, the good thing for you, partner, is you're not as old as I am. Okay? So back when the dinosaurs roamed the earth, the right side of an offensive line was almost always your power side. Your bigger, stronger, physical guys. But in this play, they tossed it right and looked like it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, but that's not the case so much anymore, you're saying, with the bigger guys? And
not necessarily.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Aaron Donald just so strong they can't block him. And got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. And this is Clark. It's Cooper. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. 1st and goal. Prescott from the gun. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Dak Prescott hooking up with Amari Cooper. And the Cowboys take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Oh boy. And the QB rating right now is sky high. 4 for 4 on that opening drive. And it ends with a touchdown pass.
Yeah, I don't know quite how to figure it out. I think I need my friends from MIT to come in and help me. I think 158.3 is the number one.
Yep, that's
right. That's the highest you can get. That's where he is. He'd like to continue on that pace.
And this is up and good to make it 7-0 Cowboys. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it culminates in a Dallas touchdown.
Ladies and gentlemen, I recently bought this fancy game console here in Amazon sold in Italy.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Out come the Rams, and at the controls, the former Cal Bears standing at 6'4", quarterback Jared Goff.
There's a toughness about Jared Goff that maybe he doesn't get enough credit for. His freshman year at Cal, team went 1-11. His rookie year with the Rams, he was 0-7 as a starter. Undaunted in either case, and has come back each and every time to flash the ability that made him the #1 overall pick in the draft when he came out of Cal.
That's going to be caught by Josh Reynolds. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
Josh Reynolds.
We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead.
They're selling their clothes.
That first touchdown given up.
This is
2
crazy.
yards, good enough
That
for
people
first.
are now selling everything that they own. Their clothes, their cars, their home, their furniture, their electronics. They're even selling their stocks just to survive. To pay for food, to pay for new clothing, to pay for a business, to pay for school, whatever it may be. But it's crazy. People are selling just about everything in order to just find a little bit of cash to put them in the direction they want to go. Look at that.
Today's a little bit of a sad day. I'm officially selling my 2001 Toyota 4Runner. The reason it's sad is I've had it for like 11 years. It's almost got 400,000 miles on it. Most of them are from me. The only reason I'm selling it is so I can drop my expenses for next to nothing. So I just make videos to have a real job. Just to work for the man. It'll work out for sure.
So again, he just wants to work for himself, make videos, travel, do the things he wants to do. But in order to do so, he has to sell his car so he can go buy a van, live in the van, not live in an apartment, not live in a house, live in the van so he can make videos for himself. Again, tired of working for other people. This is what we are seeing. Americans are now realizing that if they want to do what they want to do, they have to make the hard decision. If they don't have the money, They need to sell the stuff that they currently own to get the money that they need. Yeah. You think if people are just doing it with cars? No. Look at this.
I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it because
this video is selling over half my collection. I just don't really know this much stuff going on. It's all good stuff, but it's stuff that I just
by the way, they're going to be on the sideline thinking to themselves, and it's
he has more important things to worry about than all this stuff. Again, you have 2 feet. You have 2 feet, now you're going to sell all this stuff. Here's what's interesting. This person buys and sells shoes, sneakers, okay? But there are also people that buy and sell things like a Yeti cup, a Stanley mug, okay? They go and buy and sell Pokemon cards, basketball cards. There's so many different things, okay? The hyper-consumerism in the U.S. right now is ridiculous. People are buying so much stuff. Legos. Okay? They'll go and buy skateboards. They'll buy shoes and jerseys and hats and so forth. Everything. Just say that they have it. But now, things are getting so expensive, people are looking to unload some of their goods. And some people are taking it to thrift stores, other people are taking it to pawn shops, and some selling it right on Facebook.
Day 4 selling everything that I own. Hey guys, it's day 4. I have someone that's going to be here in 7 minutes to come look at my snowboard. Here she is. She's a bit old. I listed her for, I think, $50.
On first down, it's gone. That's into the hands of Reynolds. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line.
$50 for a snowboard. Sounds great, right? She just put this video up last week. So it's the end of May, and she's selling a snowboard for $50. Now, if you were selling this snowboard in like October, November, December, I could understand you're getting close to, $100, $200 for this snowboard. But right now, you snowboarding at the end of May, beginning of June. I don't know anybody that's snowboarding. I mean, Washington State, we didn't get a lot of snow. And so, even people that bought their snowboards in October, November, and December were a little bit upset. We didn't get to use it that much. But this person is selling her snowboard so she can pay for school. Again, it doesn't matter if you're paying for kids,
gets this into the hands of the tight end Higbee. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line.
You are selling your items just to put money into your pocket.
Man, it's just a great day to get out here and get some money, man. Look, I got a 2017 F350 for sale. I got a 2024 dump trailer for sale. I got a 2015 equipment for sale. I got a 2022 Golden for sale. Somebody bring me 35 for this. Somebody bring me 10 for this. Somebody bring me 3,500 for the trailer. Somebody bring me 50 for the skid steer, and then 3 attachments I have for it. 250 is not for sale. I have titles for everything in the driveway. Some
selling everything in his driveway, except for one truck. But again, why? Why are people selling everything that they have right now? It's because they are not making as much money as they once were. They don't have a buffer. They use their credit cards. They're realizing food costs, gas prices, utility bills, everything is still going up. So what do? Well, we go to the last resort, well, second to last resort. They are selling their stuff. Okay? Electronics. They're selling their tractors, their trailers, their trucks, everything. Okay? I know people that have been selling blood or plasma in order to make some money. Yeah, that's how bad things are getting for some people. But now, look at this one right here.
Until they wanted to get that ball downfield, nothing working in the secondary, so dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
That's where you know things are difficult. And I learned this early on, is that when you are talking to somebody about finances, they say, well, I have $400 in savings, I have $100 in cash, and I have X amount of dollars, that is owed to me from a friend. That's usually where you know that they are struggling, because they know where exactly how much is in their bank account, in their Venmo, in their Cash App, in their pocket, and how much they're paying. Like, it's nothing wrong with that. I think that's very smart that you know all that stuff. But she's selling all of her stuff so she can reload. You think this is the only person doing it? No. There are many people that are selling their stuff and getting rid of everything so that they can leave California and go somewhere else. There's people leaving Washington State to go somewhere else, usually somewhere in the South. There are many people leaving the United States as a whole to go and move to Puerto Rico, to Mexico. They are leaving the U.S. entirely because they can't afford it. The United States has become so unaffordable.
The touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game, it was countered by just a field goal. So if you guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
This is what we are likely going to see over the next several months. According to multiple experts, they believe that more people will relocate out of the U.S. than come into the U.S. And it's all because of prices and what is happening right now. But let me know, what's one thing that you have sold recently? I'll give you one from me. Recently, my wife and I sold a vehicle that we just didn't use. It sat around, did nothing. We hardly ever drove it, really just pulled it out of the driveway, went around the block, and pulled it right back in. It was just a car that was sitting there as an extra in case something were to happen. It was just an insurance policy so that we didn't have to go and rent a car if for some reason one of our vehicles was in the shop. That's really the only thing that we sold recently. Other things, we've just given them away to people that needed those items. But again, let me know, what is one thing that you have sold recently, and what was the reason why? Because you're moving, you needed the money, or you just wanted the extra space? Let me know down in the comment section below.
The Rams go nickel here defensively on third.
I thought I had fatty liver disease, but it's actually MASH, and it's scarring my liver.
Prescott connects here with a tight end, Blake Jarwin.
Recipro treats MASH with moderate to advanced liver scarring without cirrhosis, along with diet and exercise. Recipro has accelerated FDA approval. Studies are ongoing to confirm benefits. It works directly in the liver. It helps reduce scarring and reduce MASH.
Before taking, tell your doctor about liver or gallbladder problems, or if you're pregnant, breastfeeding, or plan to be. Serious side effects include liver injury, gallstones, gallbladder, pancreas inflammation. Stop taking and call your doctor about tiredness, nausea, vomiting, fever, rash, yellowing of your skin or eyes, stomach pain. Tell your doctor of taking Gen5%, clopidogrel, or statins. Side effects include diarrhea, itching, dizziness, constipation.
Ask your liver specialist if Recipro can make a difference for you.
A lot of times it's that first read that you had. Maybe you get it in pre-snap. He locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's
I dreamed up this story of a piano tuner.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
Sharp G.
Now an option play on second down.
He's
going to take this one across midfield and into end territory. 9 yards, not quite enough. They'll be left now with 3rd and 1. That looks like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
He's a guy that has a height to him, so when you get the top of the shoulder, create contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
The avuncular sort of mentor figure to Nicky in the film, and we have the legend himself, Dustin Hoffman. He has such an extraordinary spirit, which was amazing to witness. It's just a miracle that I got to do this.
But it looks like he did not make it. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead him to 4th down.
Through your ears, like the conversation.
Quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers play on their noses as close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline as a play caller. You're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them.
This is the classic motif of a good guy who's getting a little bit in over his head. And this idea that a piano tuner would have a skill set to open a save. Let's do something with the piano.
What are you doing? You're a piano tuner.
But he doesn't quite know how to navigate
So
to
on
get
4th
himself
down, here's
out.
Chris Jones to punt it away. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now, it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to if a good golfer can check one up.
They defer to Brown to start the drive. Here to run. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. We often give credit to the O-line there. Two tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now.
More than
The tight ends can
70% of
block at the line of
Americans
scrimmages
say
and
they
win an
are
attack,
struggling to
and
pay
they can
for
also
food,
get
housing,
downfield to
and
catch the
healthcare.
football.
People are panicking. They're in complete panic mode as a result of their financial situation. And President Trump doesn't seem to care. Those are his words exactly. But look at this.
How is no one else out there financially panicking?
They go right back to the ground here in Brown. And he's going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, but I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space.
Love what I do.
A loss results
I
there.
live in an apartment by myself that I love. I don't go too far out of my means when it comes to certain things. But right now, like this morning, I went to Costco and I filled up half a tank. And it was $5.20 a gallon at Costco gas. And in the past, Costco gas has been like my Lord and Savior when it comes to the like insane gasoline prices. This morning it gave me a heart attack.
Yeah. People are struggling.
Absolutely
struggling. They're in complete disbelief with what has gone on in our current economy.
So from second and long, now we go to third and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
That's exactly what President Trump said. You want to see the actual video?
And
Watch
he's going to
this.
have a Rams first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Goff hitting Woods for a Rams first. I got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on third and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That's a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Because, of course, he's not thinking about us at all.
You know, I did vote for Trump. Seemed like a lot different.
They'll come up
Beginning.
on first and 10.
You know, I'm not fully against everything, but you know, more currently with the way things are going, I don't agree with. I don't think we should be in this war.
That's a gain of 13, first down Rams.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we
He
count that
says
as a
that he's not
bonus.
thinking about
And
America's
indeed, he
financial
gets an
situation.
able to punch that.
I think sometimes he comes across, he doesn't always come across.
Incomplete. The
He's
intended
little
receiver,
blind
Josh
around the
Reynolds.
edges. So just because he says something in a certain way, I
Giving up a
believe
few
he
first
doesn't care
downs
about
on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the
With a
tide.
certain amount of money, you're going to be out of touch.
So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10.
Yeah, could be. But again, that is exactly what he said. Doesn't care about the American people's financial situation. And Americans are freaking out about this. Because before he said this on May 12th, 2026. But before he said this, he was talking about affordability, talking about pricing, talking about how can he provide a similar relief for the American people. Even went as far as proposing that maybe we eliminate the federal gas tax. Well, that will help a little bit, but that's not going to bring down the overall cost of housing. That's not going to make things more affordable for millions of Americans. Hey, that's the issue. Listen to this.
When you're getting ready to play a big-time game, especially when you have one going into a dome setting, you better strap it up tight because that crowd can really impact things.
Especially on third downs like the one we just saw there with the incompletion.
My car payment's close to $500.
So on fourth down, here's Johnny
My
Baker.
insurance is between 1 and 2. My life bills about...
And this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
But yet,
they don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line.
Assistance from the
They'll lose a yard there, and it's second and 11.
You make too much money.
Loss of a yard.
You're not going to get that assistance because a lot of that has been scaled back. But what Americans are concerned with right now is this affordability crisis. People are panicking because they don't know where they're going to get the money to pay their rent. They don't know how they're going to find the money in the next several weeks to make their car payment. Some have canceled health insurance, doctors included. Others are canceling car insurance. Life insurance isn't even a thing for so many people. And, well, if you want to get some type of warranty on something that you're buying, you're not looking at that. Right now, the concern is prices. Everybody's concerned. How can I afford the food? How can I afford a rent? How can I afford health care or something as simple as just say everyday bill, like utilities, credit cards, student loans, medical bills, things like that. Again, it's turning into a very difficult situation.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around the bunch.
Rent is insane, healthcare is a luxury. Somehow the narrative is so we're just bad with money. What money? People are working full-time, most people have 2 to 3 jobs to work because you got to. At what point do we stop blaming the people and just accept the fact that the cost of living has simply just outpaced reality? Because everything is this expensive, you have to know exactly where all of your money is coming from. Like a budget is just simply a necessity. You have to have one. They're using budgeting out like money to figure out where all of your money is going. It's too expensive to live in.
Pre-game meeting with Amari Cooper, and we mentioned man coverage against you.
I have friends that used to live in San Diego. Love San Diego. Great place. But it's too expensive. You know where they live now? They live in Tijuana. They cross the border every single day to come into the United States. They live on the other side of the border. They live in Mexico because it's much cheaper. Yeah. I also have a good friend of mine who took his kids, he has 3, took them out of private school, put them into public school because he was paying $17,000 per year per child to keep them in private school. Now, they're going to go into public school, so then he can afford other things that he needs to pay. Also have a friend of mine who runs a very successful business. And he is one that I really looked up to because every time he was making more money. And he made it very clear that from the beginning, he had a certain amount of money that he needed to make. And so that amount, because you don't know who he is, but it's $2.5 million every single year is what you need to make. That's what you need to make, and again, that was before taxes and stuff like that. Well, he still makes that amount, but his business was starting to do better, where he was making upwards of $6 to $7 million a year. He only took $2.5 million. All the rest went back to the employees. Here's the problem now. The company has been doing, well, they're still doing okay, they're still making sales, but now the issue is the cost of living went up so high for his employees, he had to keep giving them raises. So now, he's actually making $0, and his employees are stuck at their current salary because he can't give them any more or else he will lose money every single day. Americans are tired of this. They are frustrated with the fact that the cost of living keeps going up. But let me ask you this. What are your 3 largest bills? What are your 3 largest bills? Let me know down in the comment section below. Okay? For me, biggest one, house. That's really the biggest bill. Second one is food. Third one is insurance, health insurance. That is it. Those are my biggest bills. Okay? But I want to know yours. Let me know down in the comment section below. What are you struggling with? Is it a specific bill, or is it life in general? Let me know down in the comment section.
Genius, I need a financial plan.
I have your new budget and financial plan ready.
And he'll take it into the end zone.
It just moved. Why is it so high?
Found a lower price. We'll see $35
and the Cowboys will extend their lead.
I knew this was
Having a nice little first half here, partner.
It's the first half that leaves us anticipating. It could still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Backed by 100 years of innovation, snatched delivers out sharpest lines yet. Achieve the professional edge you need to stand out. Experience the absolute true story of D-Day.
Two aggressive storms. If you invade a branch, you walk away. We're not there.
Angels on the list. For sure. Expecting all the games this Friday.
Break down for the touchdown at Zerline. He'll kick it away. On the return is Henderson. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
First and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
LA set to take over again on offense. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive.
Imagine for a moment that for every $1 that you earn, you have $1.40 in debt. Now think about this. That's the average American. This isn't a simulation. This is exactly where we stand as of today. Now, I'm going to show you some numbers. I'm going to explain what's happening right now, but also try to paint the bigger picture. That when people have debt and we can't pay that debt, then there'll be a ripple effect where we can't pay our mortgages, we can't pay our car loans, we can't pay our utilities, we can't buy food, and it just gets worse and worse and worse. That's where we're currently at. Now, there was a recent study done by Consumer Affairs. We're going to talk about that in today's video. But let me ask you this. If you have any debt whatsoever, whether it's car, student loan debt, whether it's a house, credit card debt, let me know down in the comment section below. What is the one debt that is providing you with the most stress? What is it? Let me know down in the comment section below. Look at this right here. It says, where Americans are drowning in debt and falling behind. It says, imagine that for every $1 you earn, you owe $1.40 in debt. How do you feel about your finances? Well, look at this. It says, this isn't just a thought experiment. It's a financial snapshot of the American consumer. In 2026, the average individual debt burden in the U.S. is $63,200. That outpaces the nation's average annual individual income, which is $45,256 by a staggering 40%. People have more debt than they have income on an annual basis. That is extremely concerning. This is the average, so it factors in those that own a home, those that are renting, those that own a car, those that don't have a car. It factors all that. Now, why is this such a big deal? Well, first off, I'm going to give you some insights in just a moment, but it's a big deal because we are seeing this issue. We're seeing the burden upon the American people that if they have more debt, they have lower income, it is going to create problems down the line. And I'm talking specifically about credit cards as well. Credit card debt is hurting millions of people. For the majority of Americans, there's about 50% of Americans, they can't even afford a $1,000 emergency. This is where things are going from bad to worse. I want to read a few things to you. It says right here, Utah ranks as the most debt-burdened state in the nation with a debt-to-income ratio of 199.4%, the highest of any state. 199%. So if they have average income of, let's say, $65,000, that means they have a debt of about $130,000. Okay? 200%. It's crazy. It says right here, Louisiana ranks number 2 with the highest percentage of mortgage debt, 90 days past due at 1.83. Nevada is the highest share of delinquent credit card debt at 16.3%, which is 4 points above the national average. Of course Nevada is. Why wouldn't they be, right? But here's where it gets interesting. Look at this right here. It says Americans say their income can't keep up with rising prices. They're cutting back on groceries, ride shares, and even alcohol. They're also cutting back on other things as well. Okay? I'm just going to give you an example of what I'm cutting back on. And I know people are saying, oh, well, you're doing fairly well. Okay? Here's what I'm cutting back. It doesn't matter how much money you make. It matters how much money you can actually keep. Okay? That's the key here. You can make $1 million a year, but if you spend $1.2 million, then it doesn't do you any good. One of the things that I'm cutting back on, subscriptions. I have stopped several subscriptions because, again, these are monthly subscriptions that are taking money away from you every single month that you can use. You can pay down other bills. You can use the mortgage, your rent, food on the table, put it into an investment. Right? You can do all those things, but you have to have some available money. If you don't have it, you can't use it. So more people are cutting back on some of their expenses. I know a lot of people that are going to grocery stores now, and instead of just walking down the aisles and finding the exact same items that they used to buy, like the better breads, the good macaroni and cheese, right? The grass-fed beef, right? All these different things. They're just going to find deals. These are people that I know personally that make hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not over $1 million a year, and they are looking for the deals. I know somebody that they go up and down the aisles, and if it doesn't have a sale, like a buy two get one free, it's $1 off, something like that. If it's just regular price, shouldn't even look at it. Won't even look at it. It has to be on sale, or else she will not buy it. That's the difference. That's what's happening today. I'm going to show you something else. So, look at this right here, okay? And I'm going to kind of tell you how these things all piece together. But it says, how many Americans are currently delinquent with their credit card payments? Look at this. It says just 2.94% of Americans' total outstanding credit card balances are currently at least 30 days delinquent. Okay. Here's where we're at today. Well, this is actually Q4 of 2025, right? Here's the reason why I'm bringing this to your attention. This is what it was back during the financial crisis, or really when it shot up, okay? So you see here after Q3 of 2008, really shot up. Was it like 6.8%, right here, okay? This is where we're at today, so we're doing much better. But this is the reason why I'm bringing this to your attention. This is the fourth quarter of 2025. This is before gas prices shot up. So we're sitting at 2.94%. Okay, at least 30 days delinquent. That's the latest report that we have. Yet, according to experts, they say they're anticipating this is going to be at least 3.5, maybe 3.25%. It's going to jump. It's going to spike as a result of everything that's happening. Americans are struggling. Okay? We are struggling. We've stopped paying our bills. This is what's happening. And this is why I bring this to your attention. Look at this. It says Americans' electricity was shut off 13 million times in a year, according to data. 13 million times. We had our utilities shut off. Here's why this is a big deal. People usually do things in a specific order. Okay? Some of the things that they pay first is your rent or your mortgage is usually the very first thing that you pay. The second thing that you pay is usually your car payment. Okay? Those are the two biggest things. The third payment is normally your utility bills. Okay? And then obviously people pay for food and stuff like that. But those are the top three. Okay? Rent or mortgage, your car payment, and then your utilities. People have stopped paying their utilities because they can't afford it. It's gone up so much, so fast, that they've stopped. Last year, 13 million times people's electricity got shut off. I know people that are helping others because their utility bills have been shut off. They are helping. I have a friend that he allows his neighbor to run a hose from his house to the neighbor's house, just to fill up a pot, so that they can, cook some water, or not cook water, but boil water, stuff like that on their gas stove. Okay? Because they can't afford much. They're struggling. I'm going to show you something though. Look at this right here. It says in a survey, 43% of Americans don't have savings to pay a $1,000 emergency. I'll tell you right now, if for some reason the electricity got shut off, that would be an emergency. In my opinion, that would constitute an emergency. I would use my emergency fund to pay for that utility bill. If water got shut off, I'd use my emergency fund to pay for water. Right? If something happened and didn't have money to pay for the mortgage, I would look to my emergency fund so I can pay the mortgage. Okay? I do those things. Because again, that's what the emergency fund is for. But 43% of Americans don't have any savings to pay for a $1,000 emergency. They just don't. They have been using credit cards as their emergency fund. The issue is a lot of these credit card companies aren't allowing them to keep racking up more and more debt. And I talked about this earlier on today. And I said that banks are canceling people's cards. They're lowering your credit limits. Go and watch that video that I did earlier today. And I'll link to that. That'll be the first link in the description box below. But the reason I bring this to your attention is simple. Most people think that, the economy's getting a little bit difficult, prices are going up, but yet they don't change. That's the issue here. People are not changing. They're continually doing the exact same stuff.
It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Download Love's Rewards and get a free Love's coffee or fountain drink. Just buy any form, get one free. You have SNAP or Medicaid. You may qualify for a free iPhone or Samsung, plus up to 10...
The Rams calling on their nickel set here defensively for 3rd down. Prescott from the gun. Got an open man, the tight end, Jarwin. And he will have a Cowboys 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Down, Prescott. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to get it to Ezekiel Elliott, and it's 2nd down.
He certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Looking to throw. Prescott. And down he goes on the pressure. From the Rams defense, Aaron Donald able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And he's got Ezekiel Elliott. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. A gain of 9, not enough, and it's 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on here to punt it away. And he's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Rams will go on offense here with the 1st and 10. Getting set to go again here, Robert Woods marches back onto the field. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
I think when President Trump said that in later clarified that
looking to throw again on 2nd down. Goff. They got a man over the middle. It's Woods. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A gain there of 21 yards.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. On 1st and 10, Goff. Over the middle, complete. That's Woods. And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's see, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. And he will get enough for a 1st down, and that will lead us to the 2-minute warning. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman. He's in Orlando, and he'll have our EA Sports halftime report. Goff's throw taken in by Reynolds, and he'll get it down here to the 43.
Josh Reynolds. It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 43-yard line.
Yesterday marks the very first conviction under the taken.
Clock continuing to roll as the Rams trying to get going again. To throw again on 2nd down. Goff. He'll get this one to Cup, complete. And he'll
to Cooper Kupp. It's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and inches.
And the Cowboys here on 3rd down, bringing in an extra defensive back. A shotgun snap for Goff. Man open, it's Cup. He's got it. And he is going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Military operation to dismantle the military threat posed by the radical Islamic Iranian regime. Thanks to the unbelievable...
First and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a one-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost.
The U.S. military destroyed Iran's defense industrial...
That is caught at the 7. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Goff throwing again. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Cooper Kupp there, but it'll be second and goal.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop.
Despite once being the largest undersea force in the Middle East, Iran now has 0 submarines.
And they finally get to him as he's taken down.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
Operationally irrelevant at this point, after the United States maintained total air dominance over their country for weeks on end. To underscore the significance of this, before Operation Epic Fury, the Iranian Air Force would fly between 30 to 100 flights per day. Today, that number is 0. Iran's ability to fund and support its terrorist...
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes third and goal. Out of the gun. Gone. That is caught at the 7-yard line. The Rams going to be forced to use their third and final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half.
To use weapons and its navy, Iran was attempting to build a military buildup around their country that would pose an imminent existential threat to the United States military assets in the Middle East.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick is good. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do.
Most of their senior leadership, including the former